This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you. President Biden pleads to Congress for more money for COVID. This comes right after he took his second booster shot. Bernie Sanders takes a swipe at Manchin because Manchin is opposing the billionaire tax. I'll also play a video clip of what Bernie Sanders says and his bold statements. I'll give it a latest stimulus check news like this. Stimulus update 2022. Essential workers in this state will receive $500 checks. And then stimulus payments of up to $1,000 could be headed to millions of residents. And new proposal could give up to $500 to taxpayers. And I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm picking the winners for the $200 checks to my subscribers later on in the day, so stay tuned for that. You still have a few more hours left if you want to enter to win the $200, and let's get into this. So Biden receives second COVID-19 booster shot on camera. So he received his first booster shot in September, just got the second one yesterday, and a COVID-19 spike like the one in China is unlikely in the US, experts say. So looks like China, huge lockdown, 50 million people. Doesn't look like that's going to happen in the US. Things are getting much better in the US. Also, some other side news of COVID-19. CDC drops its COVID-19 risk advisory for cruise ship travel. Anybody planning on going on a cruise? And then when it comes to more money for COVID, even though cases are down, everything is down, Biden pleads for funds to fight next COVID surge before it's too late. Take a look at this video clip right here of President Biden pleading at Congress.
Congress, we need to secure additional supply now. Now. We can't wait as we find ourselves in the midst of another surge to act. It'll be too late. And we also need this funding to continue our efforts to vaccinate the world with commitments we made. It's critical to our ability to protect against new variants. There's no wall you can build high enough to keep out a virus. Congress needs to act now, please. Let me close with this. I've worked so hard to get our lives, all of us have worked so hard to get our lives back. We're summoning every ounce of American resilience, pulled every lever of our government, called upon the goodness, decency, and patriotism of American people. Together, we turned an unthinkable pain into an extraordinary progress and purpose. Americans are back to living their lives again. We can't surrender that now. Congress, please act. You have to act immediately. The consequences of inaction are severe. They'll only grow with time, but it doesn't have to be that way. We've proven what we can do when we work together. So I urge Democrats and Republicans to get this done with urgency. Let's stand united. Let's continue to pull together. Let's get this done.
What are your thoughts on this? Should Congress approve more money for COVID funding? Should that money go for maybe more stimulus checks or stimulus aid, stimulus provisions to the people? What are your thoughts on all that? Let me know down in the comments below. Next, let's get into stimulus check news. So stimulus check from Kentucky. New proposal could give up to $500 to taxpayers. So this is just a proposal, I think it came out recently. Kentucky is the latest state to join this growing list, and a stimulus check from Kentucky could give residents a one-time rebate of $500. So this is just a one-time payment. Hasn't been approved yet. Just a proposal at the moment in Kentucky. And then stimulus payments of up to $1,000 could be headed to millions of residents, see if you're eligible for the funds. This is going on in Minnesota. So this is another proposal. So proposed legislation in Minnesota could give $500 stimulus checks to individuals, and then couples would get $1,000 stimulus checks. Still a proposal as well. And then stimulus update 2022, essential workers in this state will receive $500 checks. Not a proposal, this is actually happening here. So this is going on in Massachusetts. So distribution of the first round of $500 checks for low-income workers under the COVID-19 Essential Employee Premium Pay Program is finally happening. I'm glad that these essential workers who work through the pandemic are getting a little help, according to Senator Pat Jeheline. So yeah, this is going on in Massachusetts, and basically the requirement to file the 2020 tax return, been a Massachusetts resident in 2020, and worked or lived in Massachusetts, between March 10th, 2020 to December 31st, 2020, earned at least $12,000 and has a total household income at or below 300% of the poverty line. So those are the $500 checks for those essential workers, kind of like a retroactive hazard pay. And then stimulus update: while parents wait for boosted child tax credit to return, there's another windfall in play. So families that pay for childcare can claim a special credit on their taxes for 2021. That credit increased, and families could be in line for up to $8,000 back from the IRS. So no child tax credits going on. We haven't heard any mention of it starting up anytime soon. It was in the Build Back Better. Build Back Better is essentially dead right now, and it's not a standalone bill. So in terms of a child tax credit, although some other proposals, for example with Mitt Romney, not going to happen. So they're talking about in this article $8,000 credit. Basically, if you got childcare, you could get a tax credit. So you'd have to file your taxes for that. So parents could claim a portion of up to $8,000 in childcare costs for one child, or a portion of $16,000 for two or more children. So that's that. And then moving on. So Bernie Sanders swipes at Manchin for nixing Biden's billionaire tax plan, saying, "I don't care what he has to say." So, this billionaire tax plan, sort of controversial. So Sanders swiped at Manchin for torpedoing Biden's billionaire tax plan, saying, "I don't care what Mr. Manchin has to say." It was the second time in 5 months that the conservative West Virginia Democrat sunk a billionaire tax plan. So Bernie Sanders said, "At a time of massive income and wealth inequality, where billionaires are doing phenomenally well and in some cases don't pay any federal taxes, it's absolutely essential that we have a progressive tax system and demand billionaires pay their fair share in taxes. We got to go forward on that." So I understand both sides of the argument. How do you tax a billionaire or tax anybody on money that they didn't gain? But at the same time, how much more money do billionaires need? 20%, they're not even going to feel that. They already have 5 homes, a yacht, all that. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on all that. Here is more from Bernie Sanders talking about the inequality in this country and a few other issues.
Now, I understand that some of my colleagues get very nervous when we talk about wealth distribution. Oh, my goodness, can't talk about that. But here is the reality, and that is that over the last 45 years in this country, there has been a massive, massive redistribution of wealth. The problem is it has gone in precisely the wrong direction. Today in our country, the very, very wealthiest people are becoming phenomenally wealthier, while at the same time, over half of the people in this country are living paycheck to paycheck. I know that is not a reality we talk about terribly much, but in fact, that is the simple truth. Today in our country, the 2 wealthiest people now own more wealth than the bottom 42% of our population, 130 million Americans. 2 people, 130 million Americans. Anybody think that that is what America is supposed to be about? I don't think so. Anyone who thinks we do not have an oligarchy right here in America is sorely mistaken. Today in America, multi-billionaires like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson are off taking joyrides on their rocket ships to outer space. They're buying $500 million super yachts. And we talk about the yachts that Putin's friends have. Well, guess what? They have them too here in this country, living in mansions with 25 bathrooms. In terms of health care, over 70 million Americans today are either uninsured or underinsured. 60,000 people die each and every year because they can't get to a doctor on time because they don't have insurance, don't have the money for co-payments or deductibles. We remain, my friends, the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people as a human right, and yet we pay the highest prices in the world for health care. I think we can all agree that we are living through an extremely difficult moment in American history. The question before us is whether we will stand with the working families of this country and protect their interest or whether we stand with the big money interests, the large multinational corporations, and the wealthy campaign contributors who decade after decade have enormous influence over both political parties.
What are your thoughts on what Bernie Sanders has to say? Do you agree, disagree? Hard to find some people who disagree that billionaires are getting a ton of money and poor people are getting more poor. I think almost everybody agrees with that. But let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I just want to tell you that you should always stay happy, no matter what. Even if something really happened in your life, you should always stay positive and happy and just move on. And you should always be nice to others, so others don't be you should always treat others nice, because you have to treat others nice for other people to treat you nice sometimes. Sometimes that happens. But it's really good to be nice to everybody. So, it should be really good for all of us to be nice to everybody. That's the end of my tip of the day. Bye!
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. Don't forget, you still have a few hours left if you want to enter to win the $200 checks, which I'm announcing later on today at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to pick the winners then. If it's before 5, you still have some time. If you want to check out my latest video on my other channel, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.